Welcome back, everybody. We're gonna be planting those rhizomes. They're planting the trees. We're going down to work some calves for Curtis. So it is a fun-filled, packed day, and that's what's happening on Ranching Sodak. First things first, I got 4 traps out there set. Got to give the heifers a bale of hay, check things over a little bit. We're getting some calves, not a ton, but maybe we got a dozen calves, I don't know. So that's all right. We got them all sorted. They're all in doing their thing. Okay, let's go check some traps. I'll give you a rye update. We got 3 fields doing their thing pretty good. This is one of them. You can see how tall the rye is. So 7-8 inches tall right now. It should really start to go in the next 2 weeks. Really gains a lot of height. Basically canopied now, completely covering the whole ground. One field, 50-acre field over there where we grazed pretty hard and it was kind of muddy spots, really spotty. I think I'm gonna no-till corn in there here in a week and then just terminate all that. But I'll probably let these other 3 fields go. That's the plan. Can you zoom in there? They're babies. Looks like 4, maybe. There's a water hole right over the hill there, I guess. They can make it to there. What is it, like May 7th or 8th? May 8th or 9th, maybe? May 8th? That's about right for geese, I guess. They got to get going early. They got to fly by August. Well, that don't look good. She's plugged. Plugged solid. I ain't got time to monkey around with that. Put my marker back up. Let's roll this bale out, and I got 2 more traps out here. That was actually one of Bob's there that had it down in there about 7-8 inches too. This is no good also. I was doing a really good job, I thought. That's one of those Victor traps I got from Bob. I thought I made a little tool, cleaned the hole out just perfect, got it down there about 8 inches, and yeah, they're both plugged. Don't know. We got one more trap to check. Chap. And then it's gonna be, we're striking out. Nothing. So no gophers. Let's move on with our lives. I'm not a gopher trapper. While we're out here, I'll show you what I did yesterday. This used to be an enormous rock pile here. We made a dam over there on the side of the slough, our big little slough, small lake. I made a big dam with a spillway pipe. And then I hauled all the rock over there as riprap over the last couple years. Well, I was down to about 10 or 15 bucketfuls with the skid steer left and 3 giant rocks. One of them is right over there. I couldn't get it up there to the dam. It was too heavy to push. But anyways, I got it all cleaned up yesterday, and I rolled a barley bale out here really tight. I didn't spread it out very much. I'm gonna bring one more. You can see how there's nothing growing here from all the scraping. I'm gonna bring another barley bale today or tomorrow and feather it along this part here and let them, they'll seed it all down to barley for this year. It's basically what I'm trying to say. 5 heifers out here right now that are cycling. I see them riding all over. Yeah, they're doing good. They're wanting to go to greener pastures, that's for sure. But I gotta get them all worked and sorted. Hopefully here next week, and we'll get them to their right spots. I do need to buy another semi-load though. I think I need to buy another 80 to 90 head. Maybe tomorrow, we'll see. The market's been going up and up and up ever since we started this, so we're kind of getting a little toppy. Who knows? So I had this miscanthus rhizomes in the refrigerator, and then I had 4 bags over at Jim's house, the farm, in the refrigerator. So I haven't opened them either, so I don't even know what they look like. So we're all gonna get to see what they look like here in a minute. But I'll tell you one thing, I was kind of getting worried about them, but then when I was moving the bags around, I see one had started growing and punctured through the bag and had a sprout about 5 inches long. Because the one day I had them outside, it was starting to warm up. I think they kind of started coming alive. Let's get them all loaded up and we'll head up there. Yeah, see, look at this guy. He punctured through the bag way down here. Well, we made her up here. This is where we were disking a few videos back. I don't need to be here and watch him plant the trees, but I do need to help him get started with these rhizomes and get that figured out. We're actually gonna go down to Curtis's and help him work a batch of calves, so you guys will get to see a little bit of that operation here today too. Nobody stole my case, so that's good.
Cordell would be heartbroken.
I better put one of those Apple air tags on this thing in case somebody does try to jack it. I know how people are kind of
a
after
solid
these.
old girl. Don't pick on her. She cracks off right when you.
Yeah. Come here and cut these off. Let's open up a bag of these little guys and see what they look like. Come help me.
I want to hold that camera. Did you even look at it? It did say the pink growth could stick above ground without a problem.
So they're little rascals like this, and you're not supposed to put them this way. They're supposed to be horizontal in the ground. But I think we need to get them loosened up because they're going to be fast and furious when they plant them every 18 inches. All right, bring you back in a few. They're showing up here. I don't know who's planting this year, who they got. Usually they got some kids and a couple adults that kind of run the show, but then we'll find out who the crew is this year. So yeah, whatever you think to
flat either way, or
I think like this one looks like it would be this way. It looks like this is the growth going up.
Yep.
So I mean, it's going to be a lot to try to keep track of, but
just a second, Dennis.
I think we just don't want to do this.
Right.
You know.
Yep.
So I think if you see a pink shoot, I think that should be up.
And it did say that should go up because if it comes out, the pink is the part you want to come out.
Yeah. So however many you think you want to put in there. Probably a couple bags in each one maybe, then we'll just take the pickup down a little ways and replenish you as it goes. Well, they're debating on how to go about it, so they're excited. Nice and moist underneath here. We had worked at that last time, and then we've gotten probably 1.5 inches of rain on everything. This should be pretty ideal conditions. Are you an agronomist?
As good as you need.
All right, they're ready to try her. Probably 4 inches is what he said.
Up a little bit, Dennis. Up, Dennis. I find more than that.
Yeah, you could go up a ways.
Up more.
I'd try some of that there now. Yeah. That looks good. That's the right depth.
Then I get the wheel down? Yep.
And I don't, yeah, perfect. I don't think we got to worry about stuff sticking out of the ground, but an 18 inches is pretty much probably the width of that. Or what do you got your thing set at?
4 feet.
4 feet. We're trying to go between them.
Is that too deep, you think?
You could go up a hair, Dennis.
I think so too. Dennis, can you go up just a little bit? Yep, I went. Okay.
Probably go a little more even. More up. Tell him to go up one more time.
A little more up, Dennis.
A little bit more up.
Yeah, they went about maybe 80 feet now, and they've got themselves a little bit of a system going. So they got a 4-foot clicker. So one plants at the 4, and then the other one plants in the middle, and then the first guy's back at the 4 putting his down. Maybe almost 400 feet down, and I think they're just about out with their first bags. We're maybe planting it just a hair wider spaced or farther in between each plant than they want. Well, I don't know about I guess it's whatever you want to do. But we're probably we're right at 2 foot, and they were talking 18 inches. It might be a little bit thinner when we get planting or once it starts growing, but I got a feeling it's going to thicken up over time. So maybe we'll get a little more bang for our buck this way. Got a new guy in the seat. Nathaniel's gonna give her. Well, we made her to the end. Now he's getting turned around. I think it's going to be pretty much in the center of the wheel track. I think if you find the center of your wheel track, that's where your tree should go. Or I mean your...
So this side is going to be over.
Yeah. Okay. So you'll just have to see, once you kind of get lined up with there, where your tire hits this, it might be right on. Yeah. It's going to be, I think, easier to see your wheel track once you get rolling than it will be to see the old mark, but that's up to you.
This side is going to be on this side of it.
Yes. Yeah, because the center of your thing should be right down that wheel track. Just dump your bags on the ground and see what you got.
A couple of little guys here.
Just throw them in the hole, whatever.
Yeah.
So we made her back. Now we made her back about, a little over half. And they're loading up a couple more bags. So we're probably gonna get 4 rows, at least 3.5 rows out of this deal. Coming up on the second row, finishing up. Grab a couple more bags out of the pickup and we'll send them back again. It's going pretty good. Actually, about as fast as you can walk, we're getting them planted. So I would suggest if you're gonna do the miscanthus, have a tree planter come do it. Leave your spades in the garden. So we left the old tree planters alone. He's gonna do a little filming of the trees. But I was gonna see if we got any cattle left over here. Now I feel like Tyler on Farmer Tyler Ranch out here at the heifer pasture walking, looking for my animals. We'll see if we can find them. Nobody's called and said there's cattle running around, so they should be here. Or are they just in the timber? Found them. Looks like they've crossed the water. So, see them over there by the tree? Zoom.
All right, here we are, finishing up on the elephant grass. We just got a couple handfuls left, each one of them. This is making sure the row is staying nice and straight. All right, here's the last couple of the elephant grass. And we are, all right, that's it. All right, thank you, Dennis. All right, here we are starting, working on the first row of the trees here on the other end of the property. Over there is where we planted the elephant grass. And here we go, every 4 feet. Got the marker out, so then we can see where the next row is gonna be. And we'll go from there. All right, here we are finishing up on the first row of the planting, just about to the end of the row. And here we are, we're gonna stop here and we're gonna lift up and get ready and set up for the next row. Alrighty, here we are planting the last row. Black Hill spruce, the downward stretch, looking good. How's the planting going, guys? Awesome. Right, here is the last video of the tree planting. We're just about to the end of the final row. Plant the last final trees. Alright, one more will be good. Alright, that's the last tree. All the different rows of trees.
Well, we made her back down here. Not back, I guess we made her here. If you remember last year, we unloaded cattle right there, some of our calves, into this feedlot. Now he's got pairs down here, so we're gonna work some calves, find out what the plan is. There's Cassidy. How's it going?
Pretty good.
Good. Dylan's gonna run the chute. Curtis is gonna bring them up. We're gonna do 40 cows, and then we gotta stop, because that's gonna be the ones that get hauled. So we've had a few beef sticks, we've told a few stories, we're ready to get going. So we got the cows done, now we're doing the calves. Getting a fly tag, they're getting a nasal shot, this blue, and then 2 other shots. I'm not sure what he's doing. Oh, I think he was an endovac, which we might have to check into. We're pulling off 34 for a semi-load, and what we do is we paint the back. But see, in this situation, this one shouldn't have been painted, so now we have to we got to add more paint so we know that we don't want this one because it's got 3 sets of paint on it. And then if they really get confusing, we're just going to paint the whole entire calf, and we know we don't want that one. That's right. Keep up the good work, chute operator.
Twinkle Toes will call him.
Twinkle. I got them done. Last one. We're going to leave, though. It's kind of a dusty. We got pink. Oh, there comes a gopher. Pink marks on the ones they want. That should help them find the calves they need. They'll still have to double check, and then they're still going to probably have problems come evening or tomorrow morning. It's how you go. And I think they're hauling them like, I don't know, shoot, it must be 35 miles to haul them, so they'll be busy, but we get to leave.
We get to go on our little rodeo gong show.
Well, we made her back home. Got her back to work right away, of course. We're gonna go out here. The cows pretty much don't want to eat once the green grass hits. This will run out. It's not gonna last very long, these little patches. I fed them some silage yesterday. We'll go every other day with the silage, but I like to give them a decent bale of grass hay because what they are eating is pretty wet. They don't need any protein right now because the grass is pretty good on protein. When I do feed them with the wagon, I give them some one bale of alfalfa. It won't be long now. another 15 days we'll be opening gates. So even if we gotta feed them, it's only, the finish line is upon us. But we're calving. These guys, I saw there was 2 or 3 out here, but there's about 6 or 7 or 8 maybe on this other group. So they kind of popped a few out right away. We'll go check it out. Once you get more than 3, start to get 2 or 3 calves, then they'll start, you know, going in their own little area. And that's the nice thing. If you got enough space, the baby calves, the older baby calves will start distancing themselves from the cows that haven't calved, and then that gives us another little buffer area for cows that are calving to go. They're gonna go to this group for a little bit. A cow that's calving, she might go check out the daycare. There's gonna be so many older calves in there, she'll realize the click is not right, so she'll leave. But you need to have space. You got to give them about, I'd say, minimum of a half of an acre per cow. If you got 100 cows, you better have at least 50 acres. And then obviously more is better after that. But I got to keep ranching here, girl.
I'm taking some photos.
We got a ranch. Well, you can see how hungry they are. None of them are even, they're all eating. This will run out before we're ready to move. So we got to keep feeding them. I got this bale on backwards. Well, let's give it a shot. We are going to keep feeding them because even if they eat a couple pounds of this dry matter, that'll go a long ways to keep them satisfied. And then they will eat silage yet, if you can put a little roughage in there, so you can force them to kind of eat some more roughage that way. But they're going to start quitting, which is the goal. Get them to pasture. We're getting a few takers now. Yeah, there are a few. They're coming over here to check us out. But that's okay. Let them pick through this. Like I said, get a little dry matter in them. It'll fill them up. I don't tag because they're in the group they're going to stay in all summer. So that calf goes with that cow. And this calf goes with that cow. And then that one goes with that cow. You know how I can tell? Because of the way it is. That one goes with that one. The black one goes with the black one.
Goober.
Black to black, red to red. We calve when the weather is good, and we get them in the groups that they're going to stay in for the summer. So there's no need to tag to pair, because they'll pair on their own. If she can't raise a calf when it's this temperature with food and water, then I don't want her working for me. She doesn't need to be at this place. She can be somewhere else, or we can eat her. Take all the environmental issues out of the equation. Interference with the weather and humans and buildings and disease, and just let the cow be a cow. And if they'll work, they'll work. I was just telling somebody we sorted all these cows, and we're a little low this year, but it's a hair over 400 we sorted. And I pulled off 8 cows that had bags that were questionable, and I got quite a few cows that are over 8 years old. But over the years, we've weeded down by selection, natural selection. If they cannot raise a calf, you know, with a bad bag without having to put her in a chute, milk the tits down, or whatever you might have to do, they don't stick around. You just don't have them. Too many cows in the world to mess with a cow in a chute. Well, let's fire this big boy up, bad boy. We'll mix up some feed. The yearlings definitely need to be fed, and I think we'll split a small load between, we'll split a big load between all 3 groups of cows. Well, we got a bale in here. Let's fire this bad boy up. Turn your mixer on. This is your cruise control. Get this thing up to about 1400 RPMs. You gotta kind of think backwards of a tractor. Normally your tractor, you would put the cab facing the wind to keep the dust out of the engine. Well, my engine's back here, so I can let all the dust blow over my cab, which the cab is super tight. It doesn't hurt nothing. But you always got to be thinking. You get so used to just putting your nose into the wind. Now you got to put your tail into the wind. I've been using these first cutting bales. Ones we got up in North Dakota. They're super dry. Really good feed, but it's just powder in there, so they cut up real good in the wagon. Let's go grab some Redmonds Salt out of the building over there. I can't believe Carson didn't even comment when I was making fun of him last time. In that last video, he didn't even send me a text. He must be so busy out there in Utah ranching that he can't even leave a comment or send me a text. I don't know, man. You did? Yeah. Under the bench boat up there, or the pickup? Yeah. I think the 4-wheel would be easier. Jim's back in action. Kind of. Jim's getting old. He's not happy about getting old. But we don't know what to do about it. Not much.
No more drinking.
No more drinking. Drugs and women, wild women and drugs, he's gonna have to give them up, he said. Just a cheating up there, bud. You're doing a good job. So the one thing I'm going to talk to Chris about when they come out here, or probably before they come out here this summer, is right now I got the wagon turned on, but I got it idled down. And what I would really like to have is sometimes by the time you get the net wrap off or you do something else with your loader, you don't want that thing sitting there just revved up, ready for a bale. I'd like a remote control in here. Once I drop the bale in, I could hit the button and rev it up to my RPMs that I want. And same thing, that's basically what I would like. Because I want to be able to do all my stuff and then, yeah, just like I said. So we got to see if that's possible. Now I got to get out and I got to walk over here and climb in here and hit this button. And I'm afraid what's going to happen is over time, I'm going to become so lean and muscular, I'll be kind of like a freak of nature by doing all that extra work. So I think it'll be in everybody's best interest if I had a remote control that I could just turn that on and I could stay seated in my telehandler, just conserving energy. So I think I'll just split this load between, this group is just a hair under 100 and that other group's 160, and we'll just split this load and call her good. That group out back, we gave that bale of hay to, they seem pretty content. So this group here is the old cows, and they're by far the shortest on grass, so we'll give them a little bit more of this load. Well, we're still back at her here. You know, we looked at those yearlings after we planted those rhizomes on our way down to Curtis's, and we both said, well, it didn't look like enough. And then a neighbor called when we were down there and said there was a few on the road. We're gonna go down there, check it out. I kind of think I know where they got out. See what's there, see if we can't get them all spotted and put back in. Well, we made her down here. We're gonna go out and see what's actually left in the pasture, but with our binoculars, we can see cattle probably 2.5 miles away, halfway up that hill to the horizon. So they're actually getting almost closer to go home. So maybe I can't get there with a pickup. Maybe, either way, we'll have to go see. I wanna go see what's out here and see where they got out. And then, yeah, you might have to hang tight. Heads up, Millard.
Beautiful scenery here. Unfortunately, there's a limited amount of cattle in our scenery, so we got work to do.
So they definitely walked out around in the water. A last year when I had cows here, this worked fine, but apparently these guys dove way down in there. It's pretty steep, and then they went out in the water and then went around it. And if you remember a couple years ago maybe, Dane was out in the water and we put some extensions out there. We might have to do that, but we're gonna try to get a count on what's here so we know how many we're missing. It's a big area. I mean, it's thousands of acres that way, and no cattle up here yet, so. Well, we found 11, so that's good. We're only missing 28, so the odds are on our sides right now. We're gonna try to go that way a ways. There's a track, a 2-track we can cut through the middle and see. I'm not gonna do anything with them tonight. They're so far out in the middle of nowhere that they ain't gonna hurt nothing, and I'll just start fresh tomorrow. It'll be kind of the agenda of finding these cattle, I guess. They might be getting close enough to home. It might be shorter to take them home and catch them and haul them back down here, but we will determine that tomorrow. All right, thanks for tuning in. Back in the cattle business. We're back in the cattle season. I'm starting to have a few nightmares though with this 40 head of yearlings, and now we're gonna have like 300 and well, close to 400 yearling heifers. So this could be like a whole summer thing of just chasing cattle. And
We gotta get another good horse and just follow them around like little shepherds.
oh boy,
Shepherds and Millie and yee.
I'm more awesome. Of a Sherpa. Is it the Sherpa's the one that crawl the mountains?
Yeah, I don't think we're Sherpa.
My Sherping days are over, folks.
You might be shepherding.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.